Hi, I'm Marissa Kozlov. Welcome back for another eMarketer Industry Voices, where we bring you perspectives on how marketers are working through challenges and what they envision for the future of D2C marketing. Joining me today is Jonathan Bottomley, CMO of luxury bedding brand Boll Branch. Jonathan, great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Jonathan, you became Boll Branch's CMO in early 2021 after a very disruptive year for brands, retailers, and consumers. That must have been a really interesting time to join the company. Tell us, why Boll Branch? What about the company culture appealed to you?
The mission, the values of Scott and Missy, the founders, really they came at this with a view to just changing the way that bedding and home goods were made. So with much more care and attention to one, the impact on the planet, but two, just kind of the care and attention they give to everyone that's involved in making this product and who enjoys the product. That to me felt very different. And I think off the back of kind of a year at that stage of COVID, it felt very timely. These were values that were more important to all of us. And it also felt like these were the values that consumers were seeking out from companies.
You brought up values briefly. Tell us more about the company's core values and how these resonate with consumers.
Really, this is about care. It's about care for the planet. It's about care for the way that a product actually is created and the people that create it. But it's also about the end experience. It's about the consumer and actually getting something much better in your home. It's a better experience. It's a safer experience. And it's a set of products that have been more fundamentally thought through. So they're designed to do something very specific and very, very well.
But let's talk about that great product. Boll Branch's linens are described as being buttery soft, but when you buy online, you can't touch or feel the product.
Yeah.
How do you build trust and confidence with your online consumers?
That's a great question. I mean, when you're selling a sensorial product through a screen, obviously that presents some challenges. I think firstly, we, work pretty hard to try to make sure that the product looks as inviting and as sensorially tactile as possible on that screen. But there are other things as well. We have great customer service. We have a fantastic team that deals with a lot of questions from the consumer. You can order swatches and you can feel the product that way before you decide to buy. We have great customer service principles. There's a long window from which you can send the product back. And we also have some stores. So we've seen customers pretty happy to buy online. And I think it's not just within our category. I think people's comfort generally with buying products that maybe traditionally they would have needed to try first through a screen, other digital channels, is becoming greater and greater.
The bedding category is an interesting one because sometimes months or even years can go by between a purchase. How does Boll Branch continue to engage with its customers?
You're right. It's usually some kind of life event or necessity. I just need new bed sheets or whatever it might be. That's usually the trigger. We've been pretty successful at changing that just by demonstrating to people that actually there is a much better product and set of products out there. They create a different sensorial experience. They're made in a different way. And actually they have some pretty profound health benefits. What we found is that once people engage with that idea and once they're in, they're quite eager to learn more. So if you've bought bed sheets, maybe you want to buy a pillow to go with that. If you've bought a duvet cover, maybe you want the duvet insert to go with it. Or maybe you want to understand more about, well, what's the best way to sleep for you? And so a lot of what we try to do, partly through the customer service, but also through things that act like inspiration and education and tips, that's the way that we try and make sure that we're as relevant and as targeted as possible around what people have already bought with the conversations that we have with them after the sale.
Well, in addition to the D2C channel, Boll Branch has 3 retail locations
Mhm.
and is also sold in Nordstrom. What are
Yep.
your plans to expand your retail business?
It's a very powerful business for us, right? It's very successful. I mean, like everyone, we opened a couple of stores in the teeth of COVID, which were pre-planned. We went ahead with it anyway, but we're very focused on certain locations in the country and certain types of location, right? So we're in Greenwich, we're in Summit, we're in Boca. Because again, that's where the customer that we want to reach is. We do want to expand that network. There's obviously big gaps across the country that we want to fill, but that retail location or that retail concept is really important for us, right? Because as you said, sensorial appeal and for us, kind of the focus that customer service can bring. There are things that we can do in store that you can only do in a physical location. What's interesting is about 80% of our customers in store have already spent time with us online. So it's really an extension of that relationship. It's an omni-channel relationship.
Jonathan, what's next for Boll Branch?
We bring a lot of new considerations to bedding around ethics and sustainability and quality. So we want to take that to more people, right? It's still pretty underpenetrated. We definitely want to be kind of continuing to present the brand as something a little bit more elevated. And, we're thinking hard about what that expression looks like. And we want to continue to develop the platforms that we've got. The first platform is obviously kind of the product mix. And so we continue to optimize and make those products better. There's some categories that we're not in yet that we want to develop, again, which we believe that customers really want and are looking for in their lives. We've had a heritage, I think, of getting to places from a media and engagement perspective before other brands, certainly in our category, have got there. So we want to continue that, thinking about where the white space is so that we can show up in a way that kind of really delights the consumer. And then we're going to continue to evolve the site. We want to evolve the store mix. So it's pretty holistic, but again, all in service of what we think the customer's looking for.
Sounds like you have a great year coming up. Jonathan, it was so nice to be with you today. Thank you for sharing all of these stories and for being an inspiration to our audience.
Thanks so much for inviting me. I've really enjoyed it.
And thanks to all of you for tuning into Industry Voices. We'll see you soon.
This is Mountain. This is your brand on Mountain. Any questions? Yes, you probably have a ton. This is a pretty blind opening. Anyway, Mountain is one of the fastest growing connected TV platforms, and they just merged with Maximum Effort, the creative marketing company owned by this guy. No, this guy. That's why the mountain volcano metaphor kind of works. It's great tech, and it's great creative in one place. Visit mountain.com for more details. Don't worry, there's no lava.